Hey everyone, it's Veiled Shot back at it with another Working Chaos Era video, and in this one I'm going to be going over everything about rerolling and why you should be doing it, what characters you should be rerolling for, and how it's changed since the beginning of soft launch and the beta test, because this is for global launch. I also wanted to mention that I myself will be using this guide when I start a new free play account for global launch. I will be starting just before, and I will do the entire thing on stream. Global launch happens January 17th, 2 a.m. at Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, which is about 6 p.m. PST for me. So I will be starting it 6 hours before then. So at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that again is 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be starting a 24-hour stream. So if you want to check it out, I will leave it in the description down below. So I'll be doing that then. And of course, any of you who are brand new to the game, getting the game released on global launch, you'll definitely want to at least, take what information you can get from this video in order to make an informed decision, because choosing the right character is very important to increase the speed of your progress or unlock content that you would not have been able to previously if you choose the wrong character, or not necessarily the wrong character, but not as an efficient character. So what is rerolling? Well, if you played Epic 7, I'm not sure what other games have it, but this game has a set of 5 summons of 5. So it's 25 summons in total. And in these summons, you're going to get 3 different selections of 1 legendary. So it'll be a set of 5, and I want to show on screen here what that's going to look like. Set of 5 with a legendary, and then 4 elites, and then a set of 2 sets of summons with 3 elites and 2 epics. The 7 legendaries that you can get in this game, I will go over later on. And then there is a ton of epics that you can get over, and I will go over those later on in the video as well. The ones that of note, at least. And so, how do you get this reroll set? Well, we're going to go ahead and head over to the campaign, to normal, and chapter 2 here. And once you complete chapter 2.8, this is when you will be able to unlock those 5 sets of 5 summons. Now, keep in mind, rerolling also, I would say, includes, there's a small amount of summons you can get. I believe it's after 1/6. And it's just simple shards, so it's just like normal summoning in any other gacha game. And you can summon those, and that will be before your reroll summons. And so these summons on chapter 2.8 are preset, which means there's only so many different legendaries you can get. Whereas the other shards, you can get any legendary in the game. So if you wanted to go really, really hard on rerolling, you could reroll until you get any legendary in the game, and then also collect up your reroll summons. So this is mainly going to be going over the reroll summons that you'll want to pick out in the chapter 2.8. Not necessarily any legendary that you're going to start with, because that oftentimes will take you a ton of time, whereas the reroll on chapter 2.8 should take you about 3 to 4 tries on average to get the legendary that you want, or the set of epics that you want, which could take much longer. So how do you do it? Well, as I said, you get to chapter 2.8, and then after you get to chapter 2.8, if you don't like the summons that you got, click on this little star up here on the top right, hit settings, click account, and then hit this data reset button, and then just go ahead and confirm it. Now, when you're rerolling, don't bother actually clicking on this and actually, typing in your name up here, because it will save your name, and then you will not be able to choose that name in the future. And so don't choose a name until you actually like your summons that you're going to keep. So what characters are we going for? So I'm going to go back to the screen here, or on the index here, and go in depth on each of these characters. So I'm going to be going over all 7 legendaries for you, and the first one's going to be Hector. Now, I'm not going to suggest which ones you're going to take until the very end of all 7 legendaries. I just want to give you a brief description of them all, because at the end of the day, pick what you really are interested in. But the first one's going to be Hector. He's a fire high single target damage dealer who happens to take a bunch of turns and is better on manual than he is on auto. This one is of note specifically because he needs a certain skill order in order to get maximum damage out of his ultimate. Very, very solid character, good in Tulpa. And then we have Valeria as the second one, which is a AoE fire damage dealer. She's really, really solid. She sacrifices her own HP to do AoE fire damage. She's one of the only fire damage dealers in the game, or fire AoE damage dealers in the game. She AoEs on 2 different skills, can recover her own HP, and has a defense down and multi-hit on her basic. Pretty solid character overall. And then we have Balbereth, which is another fire character, another fire single target damage dealer. He has a revive on his passive when he dies, and then he has an AoE on his second ability here. And then he has a really, really high hitting ultimate ability, one of the highest multipliers in the game, with one of the better base attacks in the game. Very, very strong unit. And then we have Mythasia, who is the only reviver in the entire game. She is a wood character, max HP support / healer, who has an amazing passive, and then just single target heals, AoE heals, and the only AoE revival in the entire game. In fact, the only revival in the entire game. So that is Mythasia. And then we have Evra, who is one of the more recently buffed characters. She is a wood damage dealer, AoE and single target damage dealer. As I said, she recently got buffed, and she just does a ton of attacks in a row, stacks up rage, gives herself bonus attacks, and just does a ton of damage. Very, very solid character. And then we have the last two, which is Mulhex, who is a single target / AoE water damage dealer. He has one AoE here, but it does quite a bit of damage. He works with attack up quite a bit, and then he just has high single target damage with his basic and his ultimate. And then next to him we have Hydrisia, who was typically considered one of the best rerolled characters in the game, but that sense has changed. So I will be going over that in just a second. But she is a water AoE damage dealer. She does a ton of AoE, and she's really, really solid in that way. And so since we've gone over all 7 of them, I wanted to just highlight a couple of them. I'm going to give you my top 2 choices here. And the first one is going to be Evra. And the reason for this is, as I said, she recently got buffed. Oftentimes, wood is a really, really solid element in this game. She can be used in Void Tower. She could be used in Queen, Endless Trials, a lot of the starter game modes that you're going to be doing. And Void Tower is one of the most important game modes in the entire game. So just keep that in mind. And she just does a ton of damage. She's going to be, killing people with this ultimate and then giving herself bonus turns. Very, very solid character if you want very quick progression through the campaign, and a very, very solid AoE wood damage dealer. One of the only of its kind in the game. And so very, very solid pick with Evra here. And then the second one I would suggest is Mythasia. I personally started with Mythasia back when the soft launch happened, and I regretted it at the beginning, but I have since been super, super happy that I ended up picking Mythasia, even though, she was suggested not to be picked. She is one of the only revivals in the game. As I mentioned earlier, she does a ton of healing based on max HP. She fits right into one of the beginner comps for Queen of the Tides, one of the earlier dungeons you're going to fit in. And then also she is an amazing arena defense character and an amazing Void Tower character. I personally use her in a lot of my Void Tower comps. And she is one of the best supports in the entire game. Would highly, highly recommend you to pick Mythasia if you want not necessarily a quick progression earlier on in the game, but to unlock some of the higher level content much quicker than someone who does not have Mythasia. She is an excellent character, and highly, highly recommend that you pick her or Evra. And a third one to note, less so than the other two, but then that's Hydrisia. She is an amazing campaign clearer, and I do think she's a very solid character. You really can't go wrong with any of these, but the other two are definitely better than Hydrisia in my opinion, and Hydrisia is better than the other 4 on the list, so I would definitely recommend you pick Hydrisia. If you don't want to re-roll that much, I just suggested that you get 3 options, and Hydrisia would probably be your third option if you don't see Mythasia or Evra. But I would definitely reroll for at least one of these 3. If not, definitely Evra or Mythasia. Now, I do want to go over some of the epics that you can reroll for, and I'm just going to be going over that real quick. Some of them that really, really will accelerate your progress and unlock content much quicker than even some of the legendaries, because you can get 2 out of your 5 pulls to be epics, whereas when you pull legendary, you get 1 legendary. So this gives you half a team rather than just 1/4. So I'm going to go over a couple of them that I suggest you look out for. So the first one on the list is Nathalia. She recently got a change of kit, and she had a lot more focus put into her ultimate, and she is a single-handedly one of the most powerful damage dealers in the game. She will help you clear through a campaign really, really easily, especially in conjunction with someone like Connor, which I will be going over in my future free-to-play guide. And also on top of that, you really, really, really want her for endless trials, because she has single target damage that actually turns into AoE if she has buffs on herself. And so the way Endless Trials works is her attacks count as single target, so you can manipulate that and take the artifacts that boost single target damages and just completely destroy things with Nathalia. Amazing, amazing character. The second one, which I suggest you look out for, is Winstrex. Now that screenshot, I'm going to put it back on screen here, that I showed you earlier, was a pull with Nathalia and Winstrex. I highly recommend that if you get this, pull it over any other choices in the game. These two are the best combinations. Previously, I would suggest you take William, but I highly recommend you take Winstrex instead. William has got a little bit of a nerf, and Winstrex will boost your arena comp to the next level. Also, really, really solid in getting that first turn, and will carry you through Void Tower with a ton of damage. Why is she so good? Well, her ultimate gives you speed up and attack up. This speed up will allow you to get first turn, so you don't have to build your other characters with high speed. And then on top of that, this second ability here refreshes the cooldown of an ally's ultimate ability, is absolutely amazing in Void Tower. So I highly recommend you pick Winstrex, or look out for Winstrex and Nathalia. If you happen to get them together, really, really amazing combo. And then the other two that I would suggest you look out for, but are less important. Well, one of them is less important. The other ones would be William here in the epic category. I do not have William, but he has an amazing trait by boosting the basic abilities of your damage dealers, or really any of your team members. A full team counterattack, joint attacks on his basic ability, and a defense down on an AoE. Amazing character. Look out for him. He's really, really solid. And then the last one, which I suggest you take less weight on, he's going to be in the Dragonscale Marsh down here. Is Zatlux. And the reason why I say you take less pull towards Zatlux is because you can get him for free from the Covenants. So the only reason you take Zatlux is to either get an Ascension for his trait, or to get, really, really quick progression through the campaign, because his ultimate will move from one character to the next if you kill someone, and refresh his cooldowns if you kill someone. So he's an amazing, amazing clearer, and will be used in all areas of the game pretty much. To give you those quicker runs. So I would look out for Zatlux, but take less weight towards him, because you can get him for free from this Covenant, as I will show you right here. You can get him right here, and that's how I ended up getting him. And he's quite easy. You should get him within the first week if you're playing the game quite efficiently. So those are pretty much all the characters I would look out for in the reroll guide. Hopefully this was helpful for those of you that are beginning a new account for the global launch. If you do want to check out my stream, it's going to be January 16th at 12 p.m. It's going to be a 24-hour stream, and that's twitch.tv/veiledshot. It's pretty exciting, starting the new free-to-play account. If you are enjoying these videos, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment. I read most of them, and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to have a lot of beginner guides and things to help you out through your global launch in the next couple of days. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.